Only on 12 tonight, a one-on-one conversation with Portland's police chief, looking back on the 2 years on the job so far. It's the first time Chief Outlaw has agreed to sit down with us since the summer's protests in downtown Portland. Protests which grabbed national headlines and ended with several arrests. Fox 12's Simon Gutierrez talked with Danielle Outlaw and takes a closer look at the sometimes contentious relationship between the community and the Bureau.
It's been a rocky relationship over the years, and Chief Outlaw recognizes that, but she says the Bureau is constantly evolving and improving, and so is its response to massive protests.
Force could be used against you.
More than 1,000 people in the streets on August 17th, and the police response was clear and present. The brawling in the streets the city had been bracing for didn't happen. Officers arrested more than a dozen people.
There were a lot more cases charged. We worked really closely with the district attorney's office, worked really closely with the U.S. attorney's office. I mean, there was far more collaboration.
The year before, officers fired aerial distraction devices into a crowd of protesters, injuring some and prompting lawsuits against the city, including one filed last week. After that protest, Outlaw suspended the Bureau's use of aerial distraction devices, and they haven't been used since.
I think it's important as a leader to step back and reassess each and every time to say, okay, until we have a decision, it can be years, what worked during this moment and what didn't?
In her tenure as chief, Outlaw says the Bureau has made positive steps forward with improvements in training and increasing the use of real-time data to drive enforcement decisions. She's also fielded criticism for the Bureau's response to past protests, arrests of homeless, and officer-involved shootings.
We're constantly reevaluating and assessing because we are a learning organization.
Outlaw says when she took over as chief, she was tasked specifically with improving the Bureau's relationship with the community. She admits that's still a work in progress, but says there has been increased communication and signs of improvement.
There's still a lot of healing that needs to take place, and we need to move beyond complacency. I think we're seeing a turning point.
Chief Outlaw says the Bureau does face challenges going forward, including a major staffing shortage. The Bureau is currently down more than 120 officers. The Bureau has managed to add a homeless liaison position and 2 additional behavioral health response teams. In studio, Simon Gutierrez, Fox 12 Oregon.